Hello fellow boatlings, I am ReaverJolt and welcome to another video. Today I get to show you some things that might hint the G rank for Monster Hunter Rise. Now before we get started, I want to mention that it is uncertain when we'll get a G or Master rank for Monster Hunter Rise at this point. My guess is that the expansion will come in a year and a half after the last major update for Rise, which at this point could be 3.0, but I'm not entirely sure. I also want to mention that what I'm about to cover is speculation and as such, no confirmation. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be looking at is what Minoto says when you talk to her in chit chat after you, well, beat the hub portion of the game, that is. She says, "Your name shall echo across the land and perhaps within due time, other villages and towns may ask for your aid." Now when I first saw this, my mind was immediately thinking, next expansion, right? I'm thinking that within the next expansion we might visit Yukumo Village, possibly Moga Village, because it seems that with the Flooded Forest and Sandy Plains maps in the game, it seems that we may have access to other maps if we reach those towns, like Deserted Isle, or even the 3rd gen volcano sometime later down the line or something. And that could mean we might get underwater, I don't know. We could also access a brand new village of some kind in the G rank, which usually is what happens. But before we get our hopes up, what she says right after is, "But, if you wouldn't mind, could you maybe stay in Komura forever?" And I was like, no, I don't want to stay in Komura forever. I want there to be a G rank so that we can, you know, access other towns. Alright, so the next thing we'll look at isn't really a hint as much as it is a reference. And this reference has been bugging me ever since I first saw it. Nakago the blacksmith says, "Fish are so delicious, but scaling them is such a pain in the Astalos." Come on, man, really? You have to throw a reference of a monster that's not even in the game? The only good thing I can see coming out of this is that they could add Astalos in the G rank for Monster Hunter Rise, which is not likely at this point considering that everyone is saying, oh, Glavenus is in Iceborne, Mizutsune is in Rise. That means Astalos has to get his own game right after, and then Gammoth his own game right after. And then I'm just like, really, guys? There has to be references? I, for one, am a bit annoyed at this, but I can at least take it and see it that we could possibly get Astalos in Rise, or possibly even Stories 2. All I could say at this point is that this message makes me triggered. Alright, so this next thing we'll look at is a hint from Rondine, the trader. This is the person that you talk to, of course, when you need to farm things, right? I think you have to beat the game to have this conversation, but after you have done all of that and then you chit-chat with her, she says this: "My identity as a trader is but a facade. In truth, I am a knight of my kingdom, sent to Komura by my queen's order. Of course, knight is merely a name for hunters who serves her majesty. It means little else. The order given was to bring the blacksmith of Komura to our lands and negotiate the application of his skills. But after getting to know the people, I've concluded that negotiating under false pretenses was dishonorable. So I've decided that we will return with the technology only with Komura's blessing. Until then, I am but a trader." So from what I'm gathering, Rondine is a knight that was sent from her kingdom by her queen to bring Hammond the blacksmith over to her land, which to me is a hint for something. Another place that we could access in G rank. So what I'm picturing in my head is a giant castle. A castle that has knights guarding the place everywhere, and ballistas, of course, that are just mounted on the giant watchtowers and such. I'm thinking that the queen that she's talking about is the guildmaster of such a place. In my mind, this place has this medieval feel. So other than that, I think this could mean that this castle kingdom-like place is going to be where we're going in the G rank expansion, if the first thing we looked at isn't going to be the case. I'm also wondering that if we do get this as the expansion, exploring this kingdom and whatnot, I wonder what Rondine would look like as a knight. That's one thing I'm sure fans might have questions about, but this conversation might hint something in the future for sure. Or so we think, I don't know. Alright, so the next thing we're looking at is the Sandy Plains message that possibly hints a returning monster. The message reads, "As the crimson glow falls upon us, our people flee this land. but I promise to survive that we too may reunite. Now, when I first saw this message, my first thought was Crimson Fatalis, but then I had a second thought. There's no way Crimson Fatalis would just return by itself without the normal Fatalis or even White Fatalis, so I'm thinking there was another one. Now, people were telling me that this was in fact Valstrax. Now, the reason why? Take a close look at the message. It says, as the crimson glow falls upon us. Now, what that means is Valstrax might have been shooting down from the sky, causing a meteorite impact in the Sandy Plains, which could be possible that Valstrax might end up returning in the future. Whether that means the 3.0 update, whether that means a G-Rank expansion, who knows? But honestly, it'll likely return in the G-Rank expansion. The reason I say this is because I really don't think that the 3.0 update is going to have that much content to give us, even if it might be more than the 2.0 update gave us. But hey, I could be wrong. They could give us Valstrax in the 3.0 update and we'd all be happy. It's still speculation at this point. This message could also mean some other monsters that have crimson-like qualities, but regardless, this is definitely a possibility. Alright, so this next possible hint is in the Flooded Forest. It is in the Giant Pyramid, which is located on this specific spot on the map. And as we go through the entrance in the back, we can already see that there are some murals on the walls here. Now, I'm not entirely sure what these murals mean. I wasn't able to decipher these properly, but some of you guys might be able to. Let me know in the comments if you do. But the main thing that I found in this shrine is this centerpiece mural that's on the wall. What it appears to be is this winged creature that has this snake-like tail and this face that looks like a snake's face. This could potentially hint a legendary dragon that we might get in the next update, or I could be completely wrong and that mural on the wall happens to be this secret endemic life that pretty much has the same features as the creature that's on the mural, which would let me down a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but it is interesting nonetheless. And part of me is hoping that we get some legendary creature based on the mural on the wall that's, you know, not this endemic life. But honestly, I really don't know. But like I said at the beginning of the video, this is just speculation at this point, so we don't really know what'll be ahead. And that'll be it for the video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you thought of these possible hints and let me know if there were any I missed. And with that, consider liking, subscribing, and turning on the bell to keep up with my uploads. Be kind to one another and have a most wonderful day.